Welcome back into the Recruiting Roundup. My name is Jared Cohen of ProsToPreps.com, joined by our insider, high school football recruiting insider at that, Jason Jewell. Another great weekend of high school sports, but a team that just continues to stand out and continues to be as good as advertised. The Centennial Coyotes, a team that you caught for the first time this season in person, right at the forefront, as usual, Jalen Ortiz.
Jalen Ortiz was great in the 3 quarters that he actually played. The game got to a running clock because Centennial ended up winning the game 55-0. It got kind of ugly, but Ortiz made his mark early. Had 2 touchdowns rushing, had 1 touchdown receiving, a 52-yard bomb from Trey Grant, and also had an interception in the 3rd quarter. Runs behind a very, very talented offensive line led by Hayden Johnson, Spencer Nathy, both seniors, both being recruited by Air Force, and very talented juniors, Laith Freck and Cameron Bennett.
You mentioned Trey Grant, quarterback that just transferred back from North Canyon, a guy that's kind of floating under the radar a little bit, but he's really enjoying the fruits of this great offensive line's labor so far this season. Tell us a little bit about Trey.
He was very, very good on Friday night. He had 3 touchdowns passing, and he ran the ball very, very well. He's about 6'3", 175 pounds, and like you mentioned, he's not really getting recruited heavily, but when I talked to him, he said the University of New Mexico and Air Force had been paying a lot of attention lately.
So a couple offers have been thrown out to a few Arizona players this week. Just talk about some of those.
Most recent offer was by the University of Utah to kids down in Tucson at Sabino High School, and they're both juniors. Tight end Matt Bushman, it was his first offer. Now Matt's about 6'6", only weighs about 215 pounds right now, but he's a kid that has a frame. He's going to bulk up and be a big kid before it's all said and done. And then the other offer was to junior offensive tackle Andrew Mike. Now Andrew this is a 6th offer already. He has plenty of Pac-10 offers: ASU, U of A, NAU, UCLA, and Cal. But Utah is the 6th school to jump on him. 6'7", 280-pound kid. All state performer last year as a sophomore, and he's going to be one to watch over the next 2 years.
Utah has really always kind of thrown offers out to players here locally, but has it increased since they joined the Pac-12?
I would say that they're trying to make a mark on the bigger players, the more talented players. Before, they would go after a bunch of the mid-major type kids, but now with them jumping into the Pac-12, I say that they're trying to make their mark on those top-tier players. And a big reason is their offensive line coach, Dan Finn, is an Arizona product. Played at NAU, played at Westwood High School, so he has ties here.
Well, now let's talk about this week. Some great games on the schedule. Hamilton and Notre Dame both coming back from Ireland. We'll see how they adjust. Hamilton, 3 losses in a row. It's like seeing lightning strike twice, Jason. And another game, the Ahwatukee Bowl. Mountain Point and Desert Vista, 2 teams that we've talked about a lot that have loads of talent. The first one we're going to break down a little bit, Brophy against Red Mountain. We know about the Brophy players, the Brugmans, the Allens, but let's talk about Red Mountain a little bit and what they're going to bring to the table this weekend.
Red Mountain's a team that I was completely impressed with last week. I had a chance to see them for the first time against Mesquite, and they completely throttled them. They have a very, very good passing game, led by their quarterback, Mason Thorman, a kid that's completely flown under the radar thus far. But a kid that's also broken out is wide receiver Drake Pierre. He already has more catches and yards than he had his entire junior season. Also, Aaron Carr, another speedy wide receiver, runs a 10.7 in the 100 meters, jumped 24.1 in the long jump. He's a kid that already has about 5 or 6 FCS-type offers. So they have plenty of speed, and we'll see if they can put up the same amount of points against Brophy this weekend.
And the game that you're going to be going to this weekend, a couple teams not as well known, not as many players that are household names. Ironwood going up against Apollo. What are you looking for in this matchup?
It's an intriguing game. Both teams are averaging almost 50 points a game. Ironwood's coming in with a very strong rushing attack. They've rushed for over 1,000 yards in their 2 games. They had 2 backs last week go over 200 yards against St. Mary's, and they're led by their big offensive lineman Elijah Cox, 6'5", 300-pound offensive tackle. Been offered already by Northern Colorado. I'd like to go out and see him, check him out a little bit more. And the running back Michael Alexander, 5'11", 240-pound bruiser.
Wow. So
we're going to see. We'll see if he can do the same thing against an Apollo team led by their top recruit is a junior. John Sakona, only a junior, 6'3", 290-pound kid, was a starter as a sophomore and has the looks of a Division I player.
Well, that concludes this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup. Make sure you stay with us again next week. For Jason Jewell, I'm Jared Cohen for ProsToPreps.com.